Hi everyone, this is going to be war number 12 of season 58. This is the second recording because I recorded without recording voice, so I'm annoyed. But yeah, final war of the season, we're going to be using Sentinel here against Attuma on node 1. This is interesting placement. I had not seen this here before. We have the LDS synergy. So strategy is to build my tactical charges, and then I think they're called tactical charges, whatever they're called for Sentinel. And then throw special ones to get the cowardice up, and then just maximize our damage. I'm going to absolutely botch this fight. But yeah, I'll talk through some of that. It's going to be a very long fight, so I'll kind of give updates on how the season was going at this point as well. At this point in the season, we were in 11th place out of 20, or out of the top 20. And we needed to win this war to finish top 10. A loss would have just finished Masters. Celestial Vendors have been doing very well this season. So yeah, we needed to play well if we wanted to give ourselves a chance. And then we had also been doing decently well. We did 5 deaths in War 10 and 4 in War 11, so we were also playing well at the end of this season. Now, for this fight, I do think Sentinel was the right assignment. I don't think we messed that up. The person who messed up was me for not understanding Attuma's kit. So the strategy here, obviously, as you can see, get the heal block up, which applies a cowardice, and then throw a bunch of special 2s. Now, I was not aware that Attuma was immune to incinerate while above 10 hydration charges. So because of that, I am not going to be doing very much damage because I keep throwing it and only applying like 1 or 2 incinerates the whole time, which is really going to slow the fight down. Now, couple reasons for that, not knowing that. One, there's not really a good excuse because I'm dumb. The other reason is that a lot of the fights I saw of Sentinel versus Attuma was on node 3, and the ones I saw people were using White Magneto. And then if you're using White Magneto, you parry a lot, which means you're removing the hydration charges, which means when you throw a special 2, there's lots of incinerates that apply. But yeah, obviously I was not aware of that, or else I would have parried to bring down the hydration charges before I threw my special 2. If I did that, this fight would have been over significantly faster and would have been much smoother. As you can see, right now we're about to hit the halfway point in terms of time on the fight, and we have 65% health to deal with. So we are really not doing well on time, and I am starting to stress a bit about it. Here I parry on purpose to remove the hydration charge. I could have parried like 3 times in a row, and then got a bunch of incinerates to stack. Instead, I only get 1. And he is building hydration charges a lot, and I'm just not playing this smart at all. We're going to parry here again. We throw our special 1 to get our damage going again. And then we get intercepted, and we are very low on health. So at this point, I'm very nervous. I'm going to throw 1 special 2 here. We're going to get 4 incinerates to get some damage, and then I decide I got to throw the special 3, as I do not want to die from Thorn's damage. So yeah, this fight is going completely terrible. But we're going to be back at full health, so now we're not in danger of dying. We are still 100% danger of timing out. There's a minute and a half left, and we have 43% health to deal with. So a ton of damage. At this point, I am going to push him to special 2. He's going to throw this. He plays nice and just lets me throw the heavy, which that could have been bad. I'm going to throw the special 2 again. We're only going to get 2 incinerates to get through. He throws a special 1 here. The other thing I probably should have done is I should have alternated him between special 1s and special 2s while fighting Attuma. That would have also made a big difference in how quickly his hydration charges stacked. But we're starting to get some damage out. Here we get a full combo. No, we get a heavy. We bait this. Only at 12 hydration charge. So when we throw this, we're going to get a lot of incinerates up actually. And that's going to tick for a lot of damage. And then we're going to combo away here and throw the special 1. And that is going to get us out of there with 25 seconds left. So yeah, really close fight. And yeah, just really poor play for me. By far my worst fight of the season. I don't think any of my other fights were even close to being nearly as bad. I did play poorly in one of the previous wars when I used um, X-Bones versus Photon again. So the reason I didn't post the last 3 wars is I had 3 fights I'd already taken. I just want to keep posting the same fights. I had White Tiger versus Serpent last war, War 11. I had X-Bones versus Photon on War 10, which was the fight I also played pretty poorly, not as poorly as this fight. But I did solo there, and then I think I had another Joaquin versus Enchantress on Node 6, which was a super easy fight again. Um, for results for this war, despite my poor play, I didn't die, and my fight time selling did not cost us. We did get a donut as a BG, so BG1 got its first donut this season. Really good timing to get the donut. And as an alliance, we played fantastic. We only had 1 death as an alliance, so really strong performance from us. We did end up winning. Celestial Avengers had 5 deaths, I think. And yeah, so with this win, we did slide up to 8th place before at the end of the season. So top 10 rewards, which was amazing. Our performance this season was a bit hit or miss overall. We were really struggling out the gate, but we really tightened it up at the end. So, the last 3 wars going 5 deaths, 4 deaths, and then 1 death was really solid. So really happy of how we closed out the season overall, and really happy with the top 10 performance. Yeah, and I'd say any Master season, if we finish top 10, that is a complete big success. Finishing top 20 is a good season, and then anything outside that would be a bad season. So really happy with the Radiance rewards that we were able to do well for the first season with those. Now we will jump to final stats for the season. All right, and here we are with final stats. As I mentioned already, I did go 12-0, so really happy that I got a deathless season. With the new map, it kind of worked out that way where the experimental matchups I did went well. Some of the experimental matchups I sent did not go nearly as well, which does hurt. In terms of fight nodes, I did cover a good amount of nodes. Basically took node 1 was the Sentinel fight you just saw, and then I took Kushala there, and then I used Iron Man versus Photon there as well. Kushala was versus Serpent on that node. Node 2 was the 2 White Tigers versus Serpent fights. Node 3 I skipped. I didn't end up having in those. We had one person, Steve, did basically 10 of the 12 wars he took that node. Node 4 was the Quicksilver versus Thanos. Node 5, I didn't have any. Mike took a bunch of those fights, so I didn't really end up going there. Node 6 was the 2 Joaquins versus Enchantress fights. Node 7 was the root node. I didn't really send myself there. I think the root node is probably the easiest node on the map, in my opinion. And then Node 8 was the 2 Crossbones versus Photons. Node 9 was Cyclops versus Lumitrix twice there. And then Node 10, I did not take either. We ended up sending the Fairy there quite a bit. We sent Kingpin there at the end. And then I think we sent Onslaught a couple times. But yeah, and then in terms of different champs used, 8 different champs in 12 wars isn't too bad. So overall, happy with the kind of spread of champs I got to use. I hadn't used several of these champs before. White Tiger, Joaquin, and Sentinel I've never used in War before. Cyclops I've used once in War, and then Iron Man has been a long time, and Quicksilver's been a long time since I used those 2 either. So enjoyable from a fight perspective. Not having to wait on other people to clear was also very beneficial. In terms of planning, I have some negatives and positives with the map. The speed at which you can plan is great. 30 minutes to plan instead of an hour or hour or more. In terms of the war itself, I didn't really enjoy it in terms of assignments. They were very punishing when you made a mistake, so sending someone to 4 deaths is awful. I apologize to all the BG mates I sent to die. I think only one other person on our BG went deathless, so yeah, and most of the deaths I don't say most of the deaths, a lot of times people died were my fault from planning mistakes. So from that perspective, it's just a lot more stressful. On the typical war map, you make a mistake, it's 1 death, maybe not even usually 2. Usually it's just 1 death because it's a pathfind, you can get it down. On this one, if you make a slight error, it could be 3, it could be 4 deaths, and that just feels extra awful, especially sending someone else to their death. So yeah, hopefully this kind of format is like a once, maybe twice a year thing. I don't think it's bad to shake it up, but I would be annoyed if we did this every other season or something like that. I would not be happy with that. Um, but yeah, for Loki finishing 8th place was great. So overall, a successful season for the Alliance and for myself. That is going to do it for this video, though. Thank you for watching.